Wise Wednesdays started on April 1st with a humble episode on forgiveness. Between then and now, we've had heart-led conversations on happiness, stress management, relationships, resilience, public speaking, respecting boundaries, self-discovery, mindset, just being, listening, reclaiming your life, intuition, and even food. I would like to thank all my listeners and the guests who gave me their time and trust. It is because of you that we kept going. It is because of you that we kept growing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so, so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so, so much. Welcome to the conversation today. We are on episode 86 of Wise Wednesdays with RK. We're doing things a little differently today. Today is a beautiful episode. We are speaking about getting your ducks in a row. And what does that even mean? It means when I say get your ducks in a row, what I'm talking about is to get yourself organized. That's what the idiom means. It means to get yourself organized. So if you look at ducks in a pond, or if you look at ducks in the farm, when the mother duck walks, the little ducklings follow. It's like little ducks all in a row. And where am I coming from with this? Because we are entering into 2022, which is as per bingo language, it is two little ducks. 22 is two little ducks as per bingo language. So I thought, why not bring it all together? And one of my fondest memories of New Year's Eve was to spend with family. Hey, Rahel, thank you for joining. So was to spend with family, and we would play bingo. We would have a night out with family. We'd have fancy dress, and it would be amazing. So to live up to that and to bring in a few memories and to bring in the new year on a high, I thought, what if we could just have a conversation around it's time to get your ducks in a row. It's time to get organized. It's time to have plans, and it's time to set some targets. Now, speaking of targets, and because we already have Rahel here watching, I would like to first and foremost acknowledge each and every one of you, especially you, acknowledge you for the amazing work that you did in pushing those numbers. Yes, I had set a target. I had set a target on 12th of December that I would exceed 1,000 subscribers, and you have been pivotal in pushing the numbers up, in sharing, in contributing, in helping me reach my target. On 12th of December, did I know that this is how it would come together? No, I'd actually intended to celebrate it on the 31st. I didn't know how it would happen, but I just put out that intention. Now, how is this related to what we are going to talk about today? Because if you set an intention for 2022, and this could be in any area of your life, this could be with your academics, this could be with your health, this could be with your finances, this could be in your relationships, this could be with your spiritual growth, this could be anywhere. Travel, set a goal, and do not worry about the how, because we have evidence to show you that the universe has your back and it's forever listening. So what is something now, before we even get into that, and no, I do not have a guest speaker today. I am my own guest speaker. And in fact, if any of you would like to join me on camera on the show, I'm happy to share the link with you. So let me know, give me a yes. If you're a regular listener, I would know how to connect with you. Thank you, Vidya. So if you are a regular listener, I would know how to connect with you. So give me a yes in comments if you want to come on camera with me and have a conversation, or if you would just like to ask me a question and you want me to address it. So shoot away, ask me anything that you would like to, whether it is regarding goal setting, whether it's relationship challenges, whether it could be anything under the sun. Honestly, this is almost like a one-to-one coaching that I'm doing for you, with you. And also, as I said, planning forward for 2022. So I'll wait for the questions to stream in. And in the meantime, I will go on with my set of questions that I have planned for you. So as we speak, and I want this to be engaging. So, hi Shoaib, thank you for joining. Oh, you and Shoaib is the 1,000th subscriber. I remember that name very well. So thank you, Shoaib, for being that star 1,000th subscriber. And let me know, what was that one thing this year that you accomplished and are very, very proud of, or something that you accomplished this year and you felt like, wow, wow, that was awesome. I am so happy that I did that. I'm so happy that I'm on the other side of that challenge, or I'm so happy that this is how it happened. What is one thing? Write in comments, let me know what is one thing that you did this year that you are very excited about, that gave you this sense of achievement. Write it in comments so that we can celebrate you, we can acknowledge you for what you've done. I'm going to wait for the comments. It doesn't have to be something really, really dynamic. It could be something very simple. Maybe you wanted to wake up half an hour earlier and you were able to do that for a few weeks. Maybe there was a chapter that you wanted to study and you were able to study. Maybe there was somebody that you wanted to speak to about a job and you were able to. I like that. Chip says, before 2022, I subscribed to you. Yes, that's an achievement too. For me, that was like you're the milestone. I'm always going to celebrate you. So tell me, what was the other thing, Shoaib, that you did? That was really pivotal. That felt like, oh my God, that is dynamic. I'm so happy I did that. Anything. It could be, like I said, I gave you a few examples. What is something that you are celebrating about yourself? I'm a pen and paper kind of a person, so it would even help if you're sitting down with yourself and writing down the answers to these questions. So, what is one thing that you did that you are very, very happy about? I'm going to wait for one or two comments to come in, and I know they'll come in because I am sure each one of us has something that we would like to celebrate and be happy about. Okay. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Well, this year I graduated with a 8.44 CGPA. Awesome. Celebrating wasted this year also. Interesting person you are. Uh, Ibn Adam, thank you so much. You graduated with a very good CGPA. I would like to celebrate that. Thank you very much for sharing. So, why am I even asking you about what is it that you are celebrating? What is it that went well for you in 2021 when we're actually supposed to be planning forward? Well, because isn't it important to know where you're starting out from? Right? So when you want to get to a particular destination, yeah, we know that 2022 is coming upon us, so we're very excited about what could be the possibility in the year ahead. We have set certain goals for ourselves. However, when it comes to going towards that goals, isn't it also important for you to know where you stand today, where you have, how far you have come? And I am one of those people who like to celebrate where you are coming from, because that's important. It's important for you to give yourself that pat on the back and say, wow, I did good this year. So therefore I asked you, what is it that you celebrated? Now, knowing that you acquired a CGPA of 8.44, where would you like to take yourself in the coming year? And this could be anything. This could be anything related, again, to your academics, to your relationships. What is something that you would like to do moving forward? Write in comments, what was the one thing that you could have done better this year? So give me a quick, a feedback in terms of what is one thing that you could have done a little bit more better. Yes. Rahel says, we're struggling to move out of India, and after a lot of struggle, finally, it's happening now. Vidya says, not much, honestly, from myself. Vidya, I know you, and I know there's lots that you can celebrate about yourself, but for whatever reason, you are not going to be doing that because you see very little of yourself when you share. So, what was one of the wisest decisions that you made? So, Rahel says, finally, it's happening now. So, what could be the wisest decision that you took? For some of us, it could be, to take on a particular course. For some of us, it could be to move into a new city. For some of us, it could be to make friends with somebody. That could be a wise decision. For some of us, it could be setting boundaries. So I want you to first, Vidya says, I could have managed my priorities well and be bold enough to speak about them. Well, the awareness is there, and I think that is something to celebrate about. You can't make a change until you are aware of what needs to get done. So kudos to you for having that awareness. Ibn Adam says, my goal is to be a good English used in, okay, so your goal is to use better English. I'm just going to correct you there. My goal is to be a good English used in the upcoming year. So which means you have to be writing it as, my goal is to speak better English in the coming year. Type that in. My goal is to speak better English in the coming year. And I appreciate your engagement, your typing. It takes a lot to do this. So thank you so much. Great. So we've got awareness. We know where we are headed. And what is something important that you did for others? What is something important that you did for others? Yes, this is about getting our ducks in order, right? So, for getting our ducks in order, we have to gather our thoughts. We have to first come and bring the focus, and then we have to move forward. So, let's do this. What is something important that you might have done for others? For me, I think the the most important thing I did for others would the most special episode. I've had amazing episodes, amazing speakers, but the most special episode I had was when I hosted 7 children on my show. So I had 7 children who have authored a children's book, and I had the privilege of hosting them and having this conversation with them on Wise Wednesdays with RK. Yes, lovely. My goal is to speak good English in 2022, and I'm going to support you as best as I can to do that. So we are one team, remember that. So the biggest thing, the most important thing you did for others. And again, if somebody would like to come on the show, I'm willing to share the link. So, Rail or Vidya, somebody who would like to come on the show and actually sit side by side with me on the screen, I would love to invite you, and I'm open to it. So, Vidya, would you like to do that? Brooks, would you ever stop uplifting anyone? Never. You will always see those tiniest things in us to make us smile. Yes, Vidya, I always will. It's just like, all for one, one for all. As you do for me, I do for you. What you see in me is what I see in you. So, what is that? What is that phrase? Ubuntu, which means I am because you are. So, yes, I am because you are. You are my tribe. You are my people. Give me a few minutes. Yes, Vidya is going to be joining us. And is there anybody else who would like to join on the live, like actually come and speak with me? Please let me know and I will share the link with you. Amazing. So when you are getting planning forward for 2022, the goals have to be in a way that you have to use a particular format to understand that you are setting the goals for yourself. So there are certain things that you have to be mindful of, and there are 5 things in all. And think I like the number 5 because even my smile has 5 steps to it. So there are 5 things that you need to keep in mind as you set your goals. Set your goals. First one being, set your goals in a way that it serves you. It has to be about you, right? If you're setting a goal, for instance, speaking better English, set that goal because you want to do it. Do not set that goal because someone might say something or to impress another person. No. Set that goal because it's important to you. Know why you are setting that goal. The goal has to be connectable to you. When a lot of times when growing up, we take up lessons, we take up courses that are not important to us. We do those things because our parents expect that of us, or the community expects that from us. And so we don't stick with those goals because they never were our goals, right? Sometimes we want your goals for 2022 are, yes, thank you, please start sharing. And you know why I'm asking you to write it in is because when you type it out, when you share it, what happens is there's this magical uh, connection that happens, neurological connection that happens in your mind, where and your subconscious hears it, and then your subconscious says, hey, he's serious about this. Hey, she's serious about it. She's actually making a public declaration, right? You're putting it out there into the universe and you're saying, my goals for 2022 are this, this, this. When I made my announcement on 12th of December about the 1,000 plus, I didn't know how, but I made that announcement and it came together. Similarly, what are some goals that you would like to pursue for 2022 for your own self? It has to be about you, nobody else. It has to be about you. It's not about people pleasing, it's not about doing it for somebody else. You set a goal that is personal, you set a goal that is for yourself. Yes, if that goal allows you to serve another person, that's a different thing. However, it has to be personal, it has to be connected to you and your value system. It has to relate to your value system. For some of us, um, we request to join Rahil. Yes, Rahil, there is a public demand. Your students are asking you to join. Are you ready for that, Rahil? Um, and Ibn Adam says, I want to learn C language, C++, and Java programming language so that I would be a good programmer in my future. Beautiful. And I wish you all the best. So yes, see, this is him wanting to do something for himself to ensure he has a better future. And he's very, very clear about it. He doesn't want to do C++ because the rest of the world is doing it. He doesn't want to do something because a bunch of friends are doing it, but he wants to do it because it's important to him. It's of value to his future. So yes, what else is there? um, when you set a goal for yourself, when you set a goal for yourself, it has to be connectable. It has to be connectable to you. I understand. uh, my voice is down since a couple of days. Next time for sure. Okay, Rahil, we hear you. um, so yes, it has to be connectable to you. The other thing is, it has to inspire you. Agreed. Also, when you are looking forward to your goal, do not always look at a reference for the future, for the past, from the past. For instance, any past failures that you might have had, any past experiences that you might have had that led you to a little bit of disappointment. Don't keep looking at the past evidence of failures to hold back from moving forward. How many times have you done that? You want to set a goal, but you keep looking at the number of times you may have failed in the past, and you say, there's no point in trying this because this is how things are, this is how the situation is. Give me a yes if this connects with you and you realize that yes, this is how it is. Give me a yes if You've done this in the past. You want to move forward, you want to set a goal, but you hold back thinking, maybe I'm not worth this, or it hasn't worked in the past, so why would it work right now? Give me a yes if this has ever happened to you. Give me a yes, give me a no. If I am not receiving anything, I don't know if I'm speaking to you or not. Okay. What did I receive just now? Yes, I got a yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, we tend to do that, right? We look at past experiences. So if we look at the smile strategy, this is what we are actually working through. We have to first silence the mind. What is the first thought that comes to your mind when you set a goal that is massive and you feel like, oh, what is the first thought that comes in your mind when you want to set a goal for yourself? What's the first thought that comes in your mind? What's the first thought that comes into your mind? Absolutely. Um, Ryle says absolutely. Vidya says yes, absolutely for me. Ryle says yes. So some of the thoughts that come into a person's mind when they're setting a goal is self-doubt, right? You begin to question yourself, you begin to wonder, is it really going to happen? So, rule number 2 was to stop looking at evidence from the past, evidence of failures from the past. So, okay, current is off, so we'll wait. Done. Hey, Matthew, thank you for joining. So, what are some thoughts that come to your mind when you want to move forward and set a goal? Ibn Adam says, sometimes I feel like I cannot do this. Yes. Shoaib says, as we know, we write on paper and put on wall. Next, we ignore that. Yes. And why would you ignore that? Why would you ignore that? Because you get busy with life. It's interesting, no? You get busy with life, but you're not really getting anywhere. It's almost like you get on a treadmill and you want to move forward in life. Sometimes I feel like a cat is chasing me with a pencil. Yes, if the cat is chasing with you with a pencil, maybe there's lots of writing that you need to get done, Matthew. Sorry for the bad joke. So yeah, and yes, you're constantly being chased. When you want to get from one destination to another, it's important that you set out in the right direction. It's important that you set out of your house. You set foot outside. You start making progress. A lot of us are running on the treadmill thinking that we are covering kilometers, whereas we're actually getting nowhere. You have to step off the treadmill to make progress. You cannot expect to get anywhere by running on the treadmill. You have to get off and start making progress. So stop that negative self talk. That is your third filter. You will not be doing any negative self talk. Silence the mind. When that thought comes in your mind, I feel I cannot do this, you tell the thought, I hear you and it's okay, but I'm going to keep moving forward because this is important to me. And that's why we go to the next one, which is it has to be, you have to identify your intention. You have to understand why this is so important for you. You have to build on that why. It has to be about you, that which was your very first point. It is, you have to do this for yourself. You have to stop looking for evidence from the past. And the third one is to stop the negative self talk. Right? Any questions coming up? Let me know. And I will move to the fourth point, which is the concept of perfection is flawed. So if you're looking for perfection with your goals, if you want to, I'm just going to take, I think this is going to be very, very valuable for Ibn Adam because he's actually participating. So thank you for doing that for yourself. He said that he wants to learn C++ language and Java programming languages, C language. So if he waited till he was perfect, if he kept waiting to be perfect so that he can be a programmer, so he can be a good programmer, if he kept waiting on that idea, that means he wouldn't get anywhere. He would have to start somewhere, start stumbling and learning to find his balance so that he can stand and move forward. You're never going to come to a place where you're so perfect and you're perfectly ready. No, that's not going to happen. But what can happen is you can make a decision and take the first baby step, and then the next baby step, and then accordingly keep moving forward, right? So you have to start somewhere. You have to start taking a little bit of action. You have to keep taking minute actions towards your goals. As imperfectly perfect as they are, it's okay, and keep moving forward. So before I get to the fifth point, fifth filter, I have a question. And the question is, how do I put forth certain beliefs and convictions I carry to the family when there is tremendous pressure or of dominance from them? And yes, that does happen. That does happen. Um, as we grow up, we face this throughout our life, actually. Sometimes growing up, there's this expectation that family has with us, our near and dear ones. I'll just call it near and dear ones because it's not just family. Sometimes we have it from our teachers, we have it from friends as well. They have the certain expectations from us. And so it is important for you to get connected with your own self. Remember, some time back, I spoke about values, how you have to be in alignment with your values. It's important for you to get to know who you are. It's important to know what is of value to you. What is that thing that makes you come alive? What is important for you? For some of us, money is an important thing. And there's nothing wrong in money being important. For some of us, freedom is important. For some of us, impact is important. For some of us, compassion is important. Write in comments what are some of the values that are important for you. And um, and and once you get to know what your values are, then you have to function from that space of your values, because it's when you function from your values, you feel nourished, you feel taken care of, and you feel like you haven't really put on a mask to get to a space of pleasing the other person. Remember, the very first point was to not please others. Your goals have to be about yourself and not others. Do it for yourself. And you are able to do it for yourself when you are staying true to your values. Now, what could be the values? Some of the values are, as I said, love. For some people, it's fame. For some people, it could be appreciation. For some people, it could be freedom, joy, gratitude. What else? Knowledge, respect, values, some of the values. What else? Generosity could be a value, compassion, balance, kindness, courage. What else? Honesty could be a value. So there could be different values. I've just bounced off a few values. What are some values that are important to you? Please write in comments what are some values that are important to you. For me, uh, I think contribution or impact. Contribution. I'm actually going to write it down. Contribution is important to me. Respect is a big one for me. What else? Freedom. Yes, Vidya, I'm going to take from yours. Freedom. And what else? Kindness. Yeah, I think kindness is important. Sorry. So, yes, these are a few of my values. What are some of your values? I just listed out quite a few. So, all right. What are some values that are important to you? Prosperity, wellness, as I said, gratitude, strength, grace, integrity, contribution. Vidya's values are respect, dignity, identity, and freedom. Vidya, with such powerful values, if you are not respecting yourself, if you're not coming from a place of dignity, if you are not finding freedom in the work that you do, if you're not able to build your identity, you're going to feel like you have abandoned yourself. You're going to feel incomplete. You're going to feel um, you're going to feel like you're not being honest with yourself. You're not respecting yourself, and that's where the pain point lies. So see how you can first respect yourself. See how you can build that dignity. See where you can find freedom to express your identity. When all of these four come together, you are going to be unstoppable from within because you are going to first serve and nourish your values. And when you serve and nourish your values, Vidya, you're going to grow in such a way that you're going to be unstoppable, my friend. Trust me, mark my words. Rahil says, for me, it's honesty, trust, discipline, respect, kindness, humble, and loyal. Thank you. Ibn Adam says, trust, respect, friendship, honesty. Amazing. Vidya, lots of work to be done with myself. You are lovely, Rooks. Thank you so much, Vidya, as are you. And as we discussed earlier today, it starts with me and it grows to we. Thank you for that reminder. I received that reminder from Vidya today. So hats off to you and kudos to you for your awareness. Friendship. Friendship is another value that is very important for us, whether it is as youngsters or as elders or even as little kids. It's important. Friendship can be a very important part of your life, and it's beautiful because through different phases of our life, our friends change, right? So the friends you've had in school might not be the same friends that you have in university, might not be the same friends you have at work. Every relationship evolves. And you know what? Even your values evolve. Even your values evolve because what is important to you when you are in school might not be the same thing that's important to you growing up in when you're working. When you're working, and it might not be when you've started to work, the thing that is important to you might not be the same as when you are in the maturity of your career, right? So stability could be something that is important. Family could be something that is more important to you at that time. And maybe as a child, freedom could be what's important to you. Friendship could be what's important to you. Relationships. Thank you, Shoaib. Um, so the handle is GIH Amberpet. Authenticity, compassion, and commitment. Hats off. Beautiful. Authenticity is one of, I am also all about authenticity, compassion, commitment. I wouldn't be showing up daily for 1,339. Today is 339 days every day if I wasn't committed, to creating an impact. So, yes, authenticity, compassion, commitment. So, when you sit down to bring your goals into the picture, it's important for you to also have that, understanding of where your values are, what your values are. It's when you understand that is when you're going to be able to align your goals with those values. It's almost like having a plain canvas in front of you and having a paint box, a box of paint watercolors, and your values are literally The liquid are the water in which you dip your brush. The values are the water in which you dip your brush, and then you dip them into the paint, you wet it, and then you paint your goals. How's that for an idea? So it is important that you are clear on your values. If you are using murky water, if your values are impacted by other people, if others are saying that you have to be a particular way, if you are influenced by other people, the water isn't clear. And if the water is not clear, what happens? Imagine there's a lot of blue that someone else is thinking of and is painting. Their mindset is very negative and blue and murky, and they've put that paint in your cup of water. If you use that, but you want to paint a beautiful bright yellow sun, if you're going to use water that is dark and murky and use a brush dipped in that water, and you're going to use that brush to use yellow paint, will you have a bright yellow sun? No. You'll have a muddy, orangish brown sun that you would be able to create. And why? The sun, the paint, there's nothing wrong with the paints. There's nothing wrong with the paints. The paints are perfect. The water paints are perfect. But what is the problem? The problem is the murky water. So toss away that water, get a fresh glass of water, have clarity on your values. It has to be your value system. It's only when you're clear on your value system is then that you're going to have clear water, and you're going to have that freedom to use the colors as they are and create the picture that you would like to. Give me a yes, a thumbs up if this sat well with you, if you understood what I'm trying to convey. Thank you, Vidya. Great example of consistency. Yes. You have to use some kerosene oil, and after cleaning the brush with that, we can use the brush. I do agree, Shoaib, and that is where I'm coming in. Maybe I'm the kerosene oil. Use some kerosene oil, and after cleaning the brush, then you can use the brush. Yes, but I'm talking about water paints. Like really, I'm just talking about watercolors. So it's a simple stuff. I'm not talking about oil paints and acrylics and all of that. No, my examples and my conversations are very simple. And I'm talking about watercolors, the kind of colors that we use when we were in school, and those kind of colors is what I'm talking about. Rail says that's true. Addressing to Vidya is on consistency example. Yes, thank you so much. So open to questions. If you have any questions, please ask away. Identifying values we've done, and also seeking clarity and alignment is important. So the last step in terms of I said I would give you 5 steps to work on. So the 5th step is to get some clarity and alignment. So as I said, you have to be in alignment with your goals. If the water that you are using is not clear, if you do not have clarity on your goals, then that means there's something missing. There's something missing. You have not been aware of what needs to be there. There is stuff that is in your glass. There is stuff that is in your space that is not yours. There are thoughts that are not yours. So come in alignment with what is important for you, and accordingly deliver, accordingly move forward. So find that clarity, find that alignment with yourself, and keep moving forward. Do not look for perfection, friends, because the concept of perfection is flawed. I'll be honest with you, this is the festive season. I always have a speaker on board. I did not. And I felt this is a perfect opportunity for me to jump on board and share with you moving forward how we can plan our goals for 2022. So get your ducks in a row, get yourself organized, and start making simple progress. I hold something called Reset for Success, which is a 21-day challenge. So for 21 days, we work together on group coaching. I give you simple tasks to do. And then we also have 3 1-hour sessions. So we have 3 1-hour sessions that I do, and 21 days of daily activities that help you build up that muscle of resetting for success. So we build tiny, tiny habits of progress, and we make progress. Shoaib says, "You're not kerosene, ma'am. You're bright fire for us for burning over negative thoughts that we can learn English." Thank you so much, Shoaib. Uh, uh, this is very interesting because as you say that, I'm a fire. One of the examples I give of coaching is um, one of the examples I give about coaching is a coach. A coach is somebody who walks with you in a dark cave. So if you're dealing with a challenge, a coach walks with you in that cave, almost like a lantern. Khandil, right? What's a lantern? A khandil. So what do you do with the khandil? You can turn the knob up and turn it down, right? The lantern, you can turn up the flame and you can turn down the flame in such a way that it guides you forward. When you turn up the flame, you can see further ahead. When you turn down the flame, you can see within yourself. So a coach helps you take those steps forward in a dark cave where you don't know what's ahead of you. You don't know if there's a pit in front of you and you're going to fall down. You don't know if there is, some kind of a rock over there, whether there's water up ahead. Sometimes caves have internal supply of water and even some greenery. So you don't really know what's in the cave. It's pitch dark, and you're getting in there because you want to understand it better. You want to understand your challenge better. You want to understand what is available to you. And that's where a coach comes handy. A coach helps you see what you can't see because it used to be dark in your cave. So you walk in with that lantern and you begin to understand the situation better by turning up the flame and turning down the flame. So, yeah, that's who I am, Kandil. So, we have a question. What will happen in case one does not develop values in one's life? Your views on this? Um, Thank you, Kunen. Hey, you're watching. So, a very profound analogy of lantern. Thank you very much. You are welcome. Coming from a coach, I'm sure you understood what I'm talking about. So, it's unlikely. And I don't know your name, so give me your name. I know you're GIH Amberpet, but give me your actual name because it's when I speak to you, I'd like to speak to you, the person that you are. So you said that what if one does not develop values in one's life? We do develop values. We always develop values. And how do I know this? Because growing up, often our values are a mirror image, are often taken and absorbed from the people around us. So our parents, the people we move with, the teachers we have, the friends we have, very often we think like them. But growing up, our values change, they evolve. And how do you understand what your values are? It is dependent on a few things. So make an observation of what are certain things that make you very, very happy. What are certain things that get you excited? What are some things that you don't think twice before spending money on? What are some things that you surround yourself? If you take a look at your surroundings, do you surround yourself with a lot of books, a lot of music? Do you surround yourself with food? Do you enjoy food? What are Shiraz Bakshi? Thank you so much for joining. So what are certain things that you always have time for? Like somebody mentioned, friendship. Sometimes for some of us, friendship is an important value. If a friend calls you even at the middle of the night and say, "Hey, listen, I need your help. Can you come?" And in an instant, you drop everything and you go. that means friendship is something that is important to you. And friendship is something for which you are willing to invest time, energy, and trust, right? So that's an important value. When I say freedom is important to me, it doesn't mean I want to break free and be somebody else. No, it just means I would like to have the freedom to make my decisions. I would like to travel. Travel is one of I enjoy traveling. So I travel often. I travel often to speak, to share my message. And if somebody says, this is what you have to do, and if somebody gives me a lot of structure to work around, I feel like I'm suffocated. I feel like I want to break free. So that's where I understand that freedom is one of my biggest values. So I hope that answers your question. We always have values. It's not possible that you don't have values, but it's important for you to understand that is that cup that you have, is that cup holding clear water? Are you clear on your values, or is it being influenced by the other people? So figure out whether it's important for you, or are you doing it because of the others around you? So, yes, I hope that answers your question. Give me a yes if it was. And I'm happy to go more deeper into this. Like I said, turn the flame up, turn the flame down. If you'd like a little more, if you want to go further into this. So, yes, ask me some more. I'm open to it. What else? What else? What else? What else can we talk about today? Any more questions coming up? I'm open. Or else there's one more thing that's coming to my mind. It is measurement. When you're setting goals for yourself, it is important for you to mark your progress. It's not just about setting a goal and saying I will do this. It's also important for you to mark your progress on a weekly basis, on a quarterly 2 weeks, once in 2 weeks. Yes. Is values changeable with time? Yes, values do evolve. Like I was saying some time back, and I don't know if you were in the conversation at the time. Values do evolve. It's some of us think that values have to be the same, but no. Yes, certain core values, they do not change. For instance, honesty, um, compassion, certain values, the deep ones, they don't, I can't say they don't, but they do evolve, because as I said, when you are depending on where you are in life. So if you're a student, freedom could be something that's very important for you. um, Friendships could be something that's very important to you. But moving forward in life, family, stability, impact, all of these things then begin to become more valuable. So, yes, values do change, they evolve with time. So, just because today your value is friendship, it doesn't mean that moving forward it's going to be you will let go of your friends and look only for stability. No, it just means that moving forward as you grow up, perhaps depending on your life, the way your life unfolds, it could be that stability and impact, compassion, contribution could be some of the values that are more powerful for you. And you might want to pull your friends towards that as well. And then that would be the time where your friends would have to consider, am I doing this because it's important for me, or am I doing it because my friend is important for me? And then that would be the difference between whether you will stay on that path or you will not. And I was talking about a timeline and measurement because it's important. When you are setting a goal for yourself, it's important to measure the progress that you are making, because it's not just about setting the goal and forgetting about it. Like Shoaib mentioned some time back, he said, we create the goals. What did he say? He said we write it on paper, put it on the wall. Next we ignore that. So yeah, so the thing is, when you are measuring the impact, when you are constantly revisiting your goals, that just means you don't have the space to ignore them. When you are constantly measuring the progress, you are measuring the changes that are coming about, then you do not have that ability to ignore it. It's not possible that you will ignore it. So when I set the intention of 1,000 plus, I was visiting. I set the intention and I let it go, but I was also visiting to see what progress has been made, how far we have come. I'm not checking it anymore because I've exceeded it. But then when I set another goal, I might just look into it. So set the goal and keep moving forward, but also have measurement. You are welcome, Kunan. So thank you so much. Um, any any thoughts, any ideas? And let's end this on a high. Let's end this on a high where I ask you, what could be let me ask you these questions. What is something that you will draw energy from in the coming year? So let me write that question for you. What is something that you will draw energy from? This year, I will draw the most energy from what? Write it in comments. I want to hear from you. It could be a lesson that you're learning. It could be a book that you're reading. It could be a friend. It could be these videos. It could be anything. Even one answer coming in. Of course. Coconut water. Like, really? Thank you, Rahel. Absolutely, Vidya. She's remarkable. There's lots to learn. Thank you. So, Rahel, what is one thing for me? Okay, Kunan says, for me, it's a stronger connection with my creator. Beautiful, beautiful, Kunan. More power to that thought. More power to that thought. A stronger connection with my creator. Because, yes, higher power. Who else to reach out to for energy than the higher power himself? So, with your creator, more power to that thought. Alhamdulillah. Okay. And what advice would you give yourself for the coming year? This year, I advise myself to, my advice, I advise myself to be patient. Yeah, I advise myself to be patient. Because sometimes, and the example I like to give is that of jelly. When you're setting jelly in the fridge, if you keep checking on it, if you keep checking the jelly, if it's set, will it ever set? No, it's not going to settle down. Why? Because you keep shaking it, you keep taking it in and out, it's not going to settle. For jelly to set, you have to be patient with it. For an idea to come together, you have to be patient with it. Some of you have shared your beautiful goals. And for them to come to fruition, it will take some time. Do not give up. And even if you want to give up in a different way. I have a video on that. I'm going to share the link. Kunan was there when I was talking about that form of giving up. So even if you feel like giving up, give up to the higher power. Say, I give up. I say give up, and give up to the higher power, and see how beautifully you're taken care of. But to take a step back, be patient with your goals. Be consistent with my goal. Hey, Mai, thank you for watching. Mai says, I advise myself to strengthen my link with Allah. Yes, Alhamdulillah, more power to you. Kunain, looks like you've set a trend. He said, Alhamdulillah, need prayers and blessings. You always have. My prayers and blessings, each one of you do. Vidya says, this year I will draw most energy from the positive aura around and use the negative energy to reflect upon if worth that energy. So yes, there can be lots of negative stuff going on around you, and it's we live in a world where we have yin and yang, we have negative and positive, female energy, male energy, all of that. There has to be a balance. I had the opportunity to interview Noman Ali Khan. A lot of you might know him. I had interviewed him and I had asked him, so what is that when you look at the Quran, when you look at um, the lessons from the guidance that has been given, what is, can you sum it up for me and tell me? And he said, oh yes, I can sum it up in one word, which is balance. So whether you are moving forward in a direction of, your goals or whatever it is, get there, but always remember to be balanced. Be balanced in your approach. As Vidya beautifully said, draw most from the positivity and then reflect upon the negative. Don't dwell on the negative, but reflect upon it. Yeah, you could have failures, you could slip and fall, but that does not mean that you're a failure. Slipping and falling means you had a failure. It does not mean you are the failure. So be patient with yourself. Keep moving forward. And anybody else would like to share what advice they have for themselves in the times ahead, moving forward, because just another 3 4 minutes, another 2 minutes actually for the hour. And wow, this was fun. I thought, how would this go? I don't have a speaker today, and this was beautiful sharing, moving forward. So before you guys go, let me share with you the link to my Reset for Success program, which I spoke about some time back. It is a beautiful 21-day challenge. If you would like to enroll and be part of it, I do group coaching. We work with like minds. It's a beautiful journey of 21 days, daily habits and tasks that happen. And we have 3 1-hour sessions on a topic when it comes to goal achieving. I do not believe in the concept of goal setting, because I'm all about achieving and setting a target and ticking it off. So it's all about goal achieving. So if you would like to, I've just shared the link. Register on that and be part of the program. Kunan says, I am committing myself to have intention of being completely aware, of being in the moment, accepting all the experiences. Beautiful. You cannot, and I repeat, you cannot be picky. When we say yes, abundance come to me, you cannot be picky about what you are receiving. You have to be grateful for the good, the bad, the ugly. Even in times of challenges, you have to be in acceptance and in gratitude and say, Alhamdulillah, thank you for whatever has come my way, because everything and anything that comes your way is shaping you into a better you. So wish you all the best. Vidya says, I should not compare my my capability with others with similar capabilities, because it is similar, not the same. This is because I tend to feel low when I see others' artwork and I feel like withdrawing myself. Vidya, you are a gem, a total rock star. And I'm sure when I gave you the example of the palette and the water, that must have really struck home for you, because you know exactly what I was talking about. You cannot paint with a brush that is tainted with someone else's values. You are you. When you are comparing yourself to somebody else, you are dipping that brush in their water picture, which means you are being unfaithful. You're not being honest with your own colors and your own palette and your own canvas. So thank you everybody for sharing. Thank you everybody for being part of this conversation today. I wish you a very, very happy 2022. I love this conversation. I hope you did too. Thank you for joining me. Share it with somebody who you think will find value, because This conversation was all about planning forward, getting your ducks in the row. And what does that mean? That means getting yourself organized, scheduling yourself for that next step forward. Get your ducks in a row. 2022. Two little ducks. This is the time for us. So I'm used to saying until tomorrow, but until we meet again. Oh, and before you go away, my speaker, my very first speaker of 2022 is drum roll, my coach and NLP teacher, Carol Talbot. It gives me goosebumps as I share this. I am super excited and blessed that she has said yes. So do not miss it next week. I've got Carol on board and she is my NLP coach. So imagine how dynamic that conversation is going to be. It's if you have enjoyed today, you're just going to enjoy it next week 10x. So make sure you're here next week too. And I will catch you in the next year, 2022. Thank you everyone for watching. Happy 2022. Thanks again.